What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Beta Memoirs. And another day, indeed, we had another crazy day in the markets. There was a lot going on today, especially in the meme stock arena. AMC put on quite the show today. Not only that, but one interesting thing that we saw today was a lot of the other meme stocks are essentially being pumped. BYND, I know Arquite was also another one. GME, it didn't have quite the pump AMC did. It's actually quite interesting because AMC pumped so hard today that we actually topped out at 72, essentially where options, available options were, only to have them load options on AMC today, during the day, which is actually really interesting to see. So it was a very interesting day indeed in the market and just what was going on. The market had relative strength for the most part. Like I said, coming into today, we did have that the beige book today, which came out. It did have a little bit of an impact today. The market kind of sold off. It was hard to tell if around that same time was also when AMC was topping out at 72. So there was a lot of push for that. I don't know if that played into anything in why the market sold off. The report came out though, and a lot of stuff was in there essentially saying, yes, there is inflation, but the Fed has already addressed this and already talked that they've actually come out and acknowledged the fact that there is inflation, although we've all seen inflation firsthand. They actually addressed it. I think it's been about 3 weeks since that point. But being said, this reiterates a lot that there is still inflation, though they still do believe that it is temporary. So just because of the supply and demand and what has happened in the pandemic. But being said, they believe it is still short-term inflation, nothing to be concerned about. So we will have to see essentially how that is going to play out and see if we get any kind of deflationary acts here coming forward. But being said, SPY itself, again, not a lot going on there. Like I said, I was in a lot of the meme stocks, and I played BYND, I think, was my biggest play today. But for the most part, everything was like big tech, Facebook. A lot of big tech had nice little pops in the morning, and then they kind of died out. Tesla just kind of stalled all day and then had quite a sell-off towards the end of the day when they came out with the fact that some of the cars are being recalled today. So it did pull back quite a bit today. But SPY in itself, again, pretty flat, still holding range, so I'm not really too concerned. Nothing, again, came out that was surprising. We do have Powell on Friday. He's giving a speech. I don't know what quite that entails. I don't know if it's another pre-recorded video, which it very well could be. But just be aware, we do have him Friday before open, so you're going to want to watch what you hold overnight tomorrow night. But being said, SPY doesn't look bad, still holding range. Not really concerned about SPY right now. QQQ, same thing. Still holding range very well today. I didn't want to hold too much overnight. I got tagged out in a bunch of different things today. I took Square. I took, what else did I take today? I was at Airbnb that I did swing overnight. I got back into Airbnb today. I did intraday trade that. It peaked out, actually pulled back over the 200 moving average, hit the 150 mark, which is essentially where I exited at, only because I wasn't too sure what was going to happen with that report today. So nonetheless, let me go ahead and pull up the watch list for tomorrow. Watch list, again, Tesla leading the way. Tesla, I'm not too sure. I did get some shares at that 602 mark. So I'm looking at this to really, I want to try to swing this long. I know there was some news today, but buyers were definitely there around that 600. A couple different times it tested that 600, but it held extremely well. BYND, it had that massive push from Wall Street Bets, and because of the short interest on it. But being said, BYND I think can also push pretty hard again tomorrow, especially if it starts getting traction on all these meme stocks. I've noticed everything started bleeding over. So it wasn't just AMCG, GME. Like I said, it was Rocket, BYND. There's a couple other ones that were really running. BYND can really get some fuel. It's been shown to happen. Being said, it's touched 200. It's 2 different occasions, and we are sitting only at that 150 mark. So I wouldn't be surprised if BYND tries to push that way if meme stocks continue to do this. And it could even be Nokia. I know Nokia was another big one today, but that's something to keep in mind. Etsy daily, BYND daily, Plug daily look great on the daily chart. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Tesla in itself, again, holding that 600 really well. I think, could we go down and retest? We have another support here at 553. I don't really want Tesla back down in this area. Could be a possibility, and I knew that coming into the position, but ultimately I think we might pop back up. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually pop up at least back to the middle Bollinger Band, and then hopefully try to continue on. If not, if it does drop down, I will average down and ride this one. Ultimately, I think Tesla has got great fundamentals. I mean, everybody knows everything about Tesla. It's not just a car company, but I mean, energy and everything that it's just essentially Elon is creating with Tesla. So being said, if you don't know what Tesla is, you've been hiding in a rock pretty much. But nonetheless, good support. I think it holds this overnight. But if it does dip down, I'm watching this to really see. It's essentially Tesla's kind of been like the inflation gauge. And anytime there's news about negative about Tesla or about inflation, again, Tesla's always kind of been that gauge to show you which way the market's going to go based off of inflation. So the next one I do have is BYND. If I can find it on my chart here, I know it was here today. The next one, BYND. If I could type. BYND, I actually played this today. I had actually swung it overnight, to be honest. And after this first initial pump, I didn't really like the fact I was struggling here, so I did sell out of this one. But after the break and retest, I did re-enter shorter-term contracts on this. Actually, I take that back. No, I think, let's say December or January contracts on this and rode this all the way up. I was planning on holding this until we hit this 148 mark. I didn't like how it was struggling there. That's when all the other news started coming out. I did sell when we had this pullback. I didn't get back in because I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. But being said, it looks like it pushed back up and is holding. Again, if tomorrow, depending on how it looks, I'll look to re-enter BYND. Again, it's holding on the daily. It is holding over the 200 moving average, which is what I liked and why I swung it. Again, now we have this big green candle. I wouldn't be surprised. We try to break above this, essentially the 150 mark, and retest that 150 tomorrow, and then and go from that point. So ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if this does touch up the 157, pull back to essentially 150. And then possibly go back to some higher highs tomorrow. So I'm looking for that tomorrow. Etsy is another one I have for tomorrow. The reason I like this, I've been waiting the consolidation on this has been forever. I've been sitting in shares in this for a while, actually. But being said, it finally broke above that daily support. It's something I was looking for, and it held well. So I'm looking for this to actually continue on. Starting tomorrow, I think, as long as it's holding that 171 mark, which it is looking at right now, and looking like another bull flag, but we will get some resistance at that 184 mark. But being said, if we can break that, then we still got a lot of headroom up here to make some way back, retest the 200, and go from that point. Airbnb is the other one I have. Airbnb is one that I've been talking about. Airbnb has been one I've been talking about for a while. Again, on the daily, it looked really good. I got back into it today on the retest. I wanted it to break because initially I had it on this breakout. It tagged out, and I tagged out there. I didn't want to get back into it until it broke this 145 mark. It did break that. I wasn't able to get in until about around that 147 mark, and then rode this back up. Again, it still looks like it has legs, but wanted to go mainly cash overnight just in case. Because I'm not really sure, even with the inflation news, I was even still reluctant on taking Tesla, but if the market does pop, I expect Tesla to at least pop back to the middle of Bollinger Band and perhaps hopefully capitalize on that. And so that's what I was kind of looking for there. Airbnb, again, I think will continue on. It's got on the daily, it's got plenty of room to make up here. Again, next major resistance, I think, is 158. From that point, we really want to get over the 162. That might be a bit of an issue, but if we can reclaim some of these higher highs at the 219 mark. Not saying it will get there, but I think Airbnb has really got some good things going for it for the summer, and the demand is definitely there for Airbnb. Again, one of them that I've talked about that I think can really make great strides this year and have a good comeback, a good recovery stock. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So I will be watching this tomorrow and possibly trading options at this point. Once it starts getting too high, I just start trading options. I don't like to, when it's basing like this, I like to get into leaps or into shares at this point. And then when it starts breaking out, just writing that up. Again, if something changes, the market sentiment changes, I'll normally tag out and re-enter like I did today with Airbnb. And then stall again. More likely, again, I will play options from this point on the way up. So we'll see how that goes. Plug is the other one I do have for you. Now on the daily, this looks great considering energy and EVs. Kind of making that new go around. I know NIO has been having some nice runs, but on the daily for Plug, this is why I bring this up. We are back over that 200. We got a lot of support underneath and not much. We got some speed bumps along the way, but I think we're still pretty solid for 44. So being said, I'm probably more than likely getting shares in this tomorrow on Plug. Maybe even some options on this, some longer term options on this. I have to look at the options. I've never actually played Plug, but I think overall, I think it could really make up a solid ground on this, at least try to hit that 57 mark is kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe even gap fill that up to the 61 mark. So we'll definitely have to see how that works. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. I know this video is getting kind of long. I've been making these kind of short, just trying to get short and sweet to the point. So that's what I have. Remember to manage risk. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.